What's going on YouTube, Mike? All Motor Civic is underway. Shout out again to our sponsor, Max Speeding Rods, who are making this possible. We want to utilize their cheap parts, guys. Little misconception, a lot of you guys are like, hey, if this is sponsored, how on earth is it going to be the cheapest? Well, we're going to include the price of everything possible for the actual cost of the item. So anything that you can find price-wise, either it be on eBay and or Amazon, whatever the lowest price is, we're gonna apply to the total amount for the 10-second all-motor build. So one of the most critical and most important things you could possibly do that is actually free and makes a lot of horsepower, because we cannot rely on nitrous, we can't rely on turbo, we can't rely on a supercharger or any type of forced induction, is porting. So we're gonna spend a ton of time porting our K20 setup, okay? So if you guys are not familiar with our setup, we're using a K20 head, which we got in the hood. Well, we actually got a long block for $75 in the hood, and we also got a brand new K20, K24 from the machine shop for $600, okay? Our plan is not to use that head, unfortunately. We're actually gonna sell that head to recoup some of the cost for our build. So we got a sweet deal on that. We're not gonna use that, and we're gonna use this K20 from the hood that we got from a local. We're gonna utilize that one. We're gonna port the head, but also one of the crucial parts that we got from Max Speeding Rods is this. All right, guys, can you see it? This is the intake manifold that we're gonna use for the K20, K24 setup that we're going for all motor build. If you guys are familiar looking at this, it's gonna resemble another intake manifold on the market. But unfortunately, this intake manifold is probably one of the cheapest K20 manifolds that you can run, okay? So this one you're gonna find online for about $120, $125, okay? So one of the cheapest, but something that we gotta utilize is we gotta port it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually cut open the intake manifold, okay? Unfortunately, there's some paint here. I have to grind down the paint. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut open the intake manifold, which I'm gonna show you next, and we're going to port the inside of the intake manifold. So once I cut it open, guys, you're gonna see the imperfections of the casting of the intake manifold. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that there is no turbulence that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a smooth transition into the throttle body, from the throttle body to the head. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it open, port it, and then put it back in and weld the intake manifold back together in order to go into our K20, K24 build, okay? So right now, I'm gonna go show you how to get it cut open, and I'm gonna show you what's inside an intake manifold. All right, guys, if you guys are wondering, this is the intake manifold as well. A couple of precautions. If we need to grind the paint off, because we need to weld it back in. If it has paint, it's not gonna weld correctly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take an angle grinder with a grinding like 80 grit pad. I'm going to basically clean up and just take off some of the material off to make a cleaner cut. Then I'm gonna use a marker just to kind of get, you know, a better idea of where to cut. We're gonna use a combined of a cutoff wheel and also like an air saw. Those are the kind of tools that we're gonna use to do this. All right, if you guys are wondering, this is stage one. Don't mind my crappy lines. It doesn't matter when it's welded back. You just kind of want to stay away from main areas. This thing is going to be cut off. I'm probably going to make an incision with the cutoff wheel. I'm going to make it a quick incision with the cutoff wheel, and then I'll take it and use the saw in order to kind of go all the way around and then take this top off. Eureka. Okay, that took a little longer than I expected, but we're gonna go ahead and look in what's inside of intake manifold. So if you can tell, this is actually pretty thick. That thing is a little over maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. So we got some playing room why I say that is this is what's inside, okay? You see that little big nugget of aluminum? The dividers are terrible. So air, usually these are supposed to, you know, be a little bit sharper in order for the air to get through. But let me see if I could get a light in there, like an LED light, and then it's gonna show us what's inside. All right. See if I can get a good glimpse. You guys see that? See all that crud on the right side? This is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that we are going to smooth out. You see the side of that wall? We're going to do everything. Look at that. In there, it's just... Let me see if I get a third runner. Yeah, you see all that crud on the side? Yeah, that's lost horsepower. And those little divots right there, the little divot and then the little ramp, like the little circle divot. Let's see if we get the last one. What's going on, YouTube? Mike here again, along with Carlos and Chris. We are out here checking out the head we're going to use. If you guys are wondering, we're on motor duty today.
That's right.
This was the intake manifold I showed you guys before. If you guys don't know, this is the K20 head that we got from the hood.
$75 hood.
$75, actually for the whole long block. So we have other parts and components that we got.
Yeah.
Our original engine, which was from the machine shop, we got a...
Yeah, for like $25 head.
Right? Is it like a $25 head? No, I'm going to sell that block. I could probably get some more money for that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got the K20, K24 at the machine shop for $600. We got this K20 long block from the hood, which we're only going to utilize the head, for $75. We are in it $675. This is the max speeding rod intake manifold that I had to get cut. So right now we are going to set it down. I've bolted it to the head. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and port match. We came with tools to smooth this out. So and we have a longer die so that we can get deep into there to get both in either ends. But I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this and take off the valves just so that we have you know, we can get a better port job with the valves
Nice,
up.
and you didn't bring the tool, so you're playing whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole, yeah, dude.
Okay.
So this is the hood way of doing it.
Right.
You want to? You want to?
What we're gonna call this motor? The hood motor?
The hood motor. We could.
Hood rich or hood K? K hood?
Hood K, because this
Hood quick? No, hood quick. Hood.
We'll
I don't
out.
know.
Give us some guesses.
I know. Give us a name. We don't know what. Hey, we don't even know what to call. We need what to call our new all motor build. We need a name for it.
Call
but
it Goober.
Chris, can you show the hood way of removing the valve keepers?
Magnetize it?
Just keep it right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can do it like that.
Yeah,
You can put a magnet and the whole thing becomes a magnet.
It should catch it.
All right.
And
this is the hood.
I need a
Okay.
and we need to lift this side because I don't want to bang it and have the valve bang the wood on the bottom. All right, let's pick this up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that should be good. So this is when you don't have the right tools. You ooh, these are some tidies, baby. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Babushke.
Where's the other one? That's why
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably
look,
both connected.
It's attached.
So, alright guys, we're working on the motor right now. We're not doing it at the shop right now just because
Freezing.
it's freezing in
It's actually
Vegas.
30 what? 35 degrees today.
Yeah. So we're right here. We do our port job at home, which is nice and nice and warm.
Yes.
But yeah, so far the engine setup, we spent $600 on the long block, and then we have a spare motor which we got for $75 from the hood, and we're going to utilize things like the K20 oil pump, the head, and little knickknacks because the block is bare that we got. For the most part, it doesn't come with every little sensor and everything like that. So $675 is so far on the long block. I'm actually going to sell the head to see if I can recoup some money from that. And then, so now we're going to go ahead and disassemble the head and then get to porting. What are we doing, Carlos?
We're going to record so we don't forget which way we're going.
Exactamundo.
PRB's reading the right way, so we're going to do that. We're going to go left to right. So we're gonna do number 1.
Did it show up?
A little bit. Number 2.
It's good enough. It's good enough. I don't know about the intake side though.
Right.
We can see that. So we're gonna number these to make sure that we put them back at exactly the same hole.
That's right. So that way we don't have to redesign the entire valve seat. These look new.
I know.
Like they've been replaced.
Yeah, just write 1 or something here. And 8 maybe. There you go. Is it gonna mark on that?
This is not gonna. Well,
oh, a little bit. I think it'll show. It'll show. We gotta read really. Gotta zoom in and read. All right, we are checking out the port. We got a little light action there. Let me see if I can get a zoom in there. So we can kind of see inside and see. It's pretty good as far as the intake manifold, how it lines up with the head. But I do see a little lip that needs to be.
There's a big lip in this one here. If you look on the number 1 on this edge, on the side, it's pretty beat up.
Yeah.
Let me see if you can see it from this side.
The pitting in that.
The pitting here is disgusting. So, guys, what we're gonna do, we have a pretty much this is like a 1/3 of an inch to play with as far as material, but we're gonna we're gonna go ahead and make this sharp, and so that the air can divide into it. So if you guys are wondering, air is gonna come through here, but with these intake manifolds, you want equal amount of air to go in each port, but unfortunately, the best way to do that is if this was center feed. So if this was center feed, the air has a kind of equal path to go into. With this one, the air has to turn and make a right turn, which it doesn't like to do. So we're gonna make the right turns a little bit easier by grinding the center and making it sharp, and taking off material and widening it to have more displacement in here in the plenum. And then make sure that we also port into the head as well. So we're doing a full port job, and we can make the most power as we can.
That is perfect, man. Yes, yes, it's much better.
Ooh, dude. This took a while, y'all. This took a while, but check a look at the work right here, guys.
Though,
you see how that thing is a little bit more sharper compared to this McFat fats?
Yeah, dude, I mean, come on.
Come on, guys. So that's kind of what we want. We want a smooth entryway.
Touched though, dude. They were so bad.
So bad. So bad. We actually really need a divider to let the air like turn in.
Yeah.
It was just tumbling. So this is going to be common for most intake manifolds, except for the unique design of the Skunk 2 Ultra, where you can actually take this off, and they kind of have a more of an equal shape. But as far as the cheapest intake manifold that you can possibly get, we're going to make it 100 times better. 100 times better.
I got on a chart from 1 to 100. We're making it about 315% better.
I know, seriously.
Dude, like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. It had this crazy hump over here.
I know.
It's all smooth now.
You want the nice
This first runner looked like it had like you know when you mess up laying down like a bead of silicone and it just lays there? That's what it looked like, but with aluminum. It was so bad, dude. Now it's
seriously. You cut that angle a little bit more. It'll make it less sharp. Open up the pass.
We got meat back there to.
We got meat back there?
Smooth this out a little
bit. See, we got meat from this little webbing right here.
Yeah, you can smooth that out a little bit.
But this is what's going to make the power. This is really much what we could do. You know what I mean?
The only power adder is hard work.
Yeah, so this engine is going to survive around 9,000 RPM. So when you do this to your intake manifold, your low-end torque suffers, but we're not going low-end. We're racing here. So this is a long process. We had like 2 cigarette breaks. But hey, it's free power.
Free horsepower.
Free straight up horsepower.
You just gotta put in the work.
Just put in the work and the time.
But we've been at it for about 2 hours now.
Yeah.
And we're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're about a quarter of the way.
We're not even tackled the head yet, which is actually going to be easier. The head.
Yeah, whatever.
Because it's like just doing 4 ports. This one's we got to do a whole.
We got to do a whole bucket, but we haven't even gotten to the bucket. I mean, really, we touched it a little bit, but those runners, man, it takes a lot of work. You guys really have to sit there and
yeah, it's probably
take your time.
More time maybe on intake manifold because there's so much more area.
And it's runners, yeah. The runners are really long. I mean, even though the head,
because the head's what?
It's a smaller bowl. It's half the size of those runners.
Yeah, seriously,
yeah, for sure.
So
and
I mean,
it doesn't. And the thing is, with also, you got to put into perspective that the head is a cast, but it's way finer and cleaner cast than what this thing started as. So just cutting down the junk, where I'm talking, dude, there was stamps of metal just sitting there. So just cutting those down took majority of the first half of this time, and then now just shaping the bowls and doing
let's see if we can look at the head real quick.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of, like, you guys see the obvious cast imperfections, and now let's look at the factory cylinder head, and you guys are going to understand more of what's going on in the cylinder head. Let's see here. See, so even
way smoother.
So it's smoother, yes, but you can still see casting marks. You see how the casting mark in the middle,
casting marks,
and
sure.
Those are the type of stuff that we're targeting as well.
But I mean, dude,
you don't open them up like crazy. You know what I mean?
But still, it's night and day. It's night and day. The intake runners. Is this a Type R head? This is really smooth. Oh, because it's the PRB.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, this ain't the K24 junk that we did.
Anyway, guys, this is what we do for free horsepower.
Yeah, we're at home, chilling, taking smoke breaks in between. It feels more like not work, and we're, you know, just grinding out some holes. It's fun. You guys, free power for fun times. Hanging out. Just us. Chris kind of gave up on us.
Yeah, we got to use a lot of free labor to get power with all motor, guys. We can't just slap on a turbo, bigger turbo, turn it up.
No.
This is just all labor of love. So this is what you have to do.
Sure, 100%.
It takes a lot of time. Anyway, guys, we're on to stage 2. After we get this done, we're gonna go ahead and set up and build the motor.
They haven't even seen the motor bay.
They haven't even seen it.
Dude.
Watch. We're gonna get all the.
You guys ain't ready.
Here we are, guys. This is the. After hours and hours of work, this is like the final draft, and I'm gonna put some light in so you guys can see. Those dividers are like the most important part. We tried our best to get it to, you know, to a good and nice consistency. You want them to be as equal as possible. If you saw the last, I'll try to do a before and after, but yeah, this is way better. We have to kind of go down the runners still, but that's pretty easy. Just to kind of clean up some marks. We want to see what power this thing gains from it. And I don't know, you know, it'd be pretty cool if we could maybe, you know, put the head or something like that on like a, you know, see what the CFM is from a port. I don't know if there's any machine shop that has one locally in Vegas, but this is the final look of the intake manifold. We are going to kind of clean up the runners a little bit more, and then after we'll go ahead and get it mounted to the head, gasket match everything, and then do the final assembly of the head and the engine.